Hey, it's Michael's first coming to you in 3D. Not really, I'm just coming to you with these glasses on today, and I'll explain why in a minute. But we're going to talk in this video about perception and how perception affects your emotional state. So, why have I got the glasses on? Because I was just about to do my eye exercises, which I've been given to do, and they basically involve wearing these glasses while doing some computer work, exercise on the computer. And after 4 years of trying to find someone to work out what was going on with my eyes, and getting nowhere, finally I found someone who worked it out, and this is the therapy, and it takes a while, but it's been working, and I can finally read a little bit online, and I'm really happy about that. It's not great, we're getting there, and hopefully it's just going to keep getting better from here. But when I was starting these exercises, I was thinking, you know what, these are a great illustration, a great metaphor to talk about perception and how different perceptions affect our emotional state. So, what am I talking about? Okay, so we're going to say that this red lens on the right here, that's going to be the emotion of negativity, and the blue lens is going to be the emotion of positive emotions. So when we see the world through the negative emotions or through the red lens only, now I've covered my left eye, the blue eye, everything looks red. So everything looks negative to me, right? That's the metaphor. Everything looks red, everything looks negative. So if I'm listening to like all the news reports all the time, all the negativity, I'm hanging around negative people, focusing on negative thoughts, what's going to happen? My world's going to look red. Everything I look at is going to be red. Everything, I'm going to feel depressed about it. I'm going to feel anxious. I'm going to feel worried, concerned, everything else, all those negative states about it. Okay? Now, if I start focusing on the positive, let's say I get on Facebook and I start reading positive things and positive quotes and positive books and improve myself and things like that. Hey, guess what? I'm starting to focus on the positive, and I'm going to start to see the world as a more joyful, peaceful, more to be grateful about. And it's going to balance out my perception of negativity. So now the power of focus is huge, and I won't go into that here. It's for another video. But basically what you're focusing on, whether it's going to be the red lens or the blue lens, is going to determine how you feel. Now you might think, well, I'll just focus on blue and everything will be optimistic and positive and everything. But it's not quite going to work like that, because I learned a key concept probably about 6-7 years ago that changed my life. And it's not about being totally positive all the time. It's not about being forgetting and totally repressing the negative and forgetting about the negative. Okay, and I'm going to explain now what I mean by that. So if I see everything as negative, like I said, and I see no positives, then what's going to happen? What happens if the world had no positive in it at all, and everything was negative? Well, you'd be stuck in this emotional state. And we know that's not true, because there are people who do see the world through a blue lens, right? We know that for a fact. So why is it some people see the world through a red lens and some people through a blue? Basically, they've shifted their focus. They've learned where to focus things. And I was a very red focused person. Now, I won't say I'm a fully blue focused person, but there's a better perception there. I understand these concepts and it's helped me a lot. But if I'm always focusing on the blue lens and always focusing on the positive, what happens is I might get overexcited. I might see only the positive in people and not be conned by different people because they can pretend to be very good people and that. And you can get con men that can easily win people over and that. Okay, and I just only see the good in people, and that just, I get influenced by them to buy things off them, whatever, con men. And the ultimate example I can give you for this, what I'm trying to explain here, is look at the stock market, okay? Now, people who are smart with the stocks and the stock market and that, they know to be careful. When everything looks good and great and everything looks great and everything looks blue, they're looking through the blue lens. Oh, buy now, buy everything, let's buy everything, buy everything now, and this company looks great. Basically, they're not seeing all the downsides. They're not seeing the negatives as well. So they might go and invest all their money, and then they'll lose it all because they might see some risk that might happen in a week or two. But the smart person has a balanced perception. They see a balance of the positive and the negative in everything, okay? Everything's got to have a positive and negative perception to it to balance out the perception. Because you get too positive, you're too overexcited, too manic, or if you get too depressed in that, you can't think straight when you're anxious in that either. Because your mind your frontal cortex or your logical mind comes online when the emotional mind is quiet. And if it's too excited or too upset with negativity, it's not going to be balanced enough for this mind to be fully operational. You need that balanced perception. So if these people go and invest in that stock market when it's high and everything's good and they're not seeing the negatives, then they're taking a huge risk, and it's probably more than likely they're not making a good, wise investment choice. But if they can see the negatives, then what they do is they balance out the risk. Is the risk of this positivity worth it when they can see the negatives? They bring that back, that perception back. That perception balances everything out. And if you look at the order in life, you can just see that everything works, and it's too deep to go into, but if you really start looking, you'll see everything tries to balance itself out in some way or another. And there's always this balancing effect going on. So when I learnt this, it was like pretty much mind-blowing, and now I see and I look for the balance in everything that I can see. And it's also how I helped my clients get results when I used to do the coaching. Get results pretty quick, because I could see where they were way out of balance, and what we had to do to bring it back to equilibrium again. Okay, so now, do you want to focus on all the negativity in the world? You're going to see all the negativity. That's how you're going to feel. You're going to feel negative. You see all optimistic, you're going to be overexcited, you're going to be overjoyful, and you're going to be blinded to the downsides, and you're going to be blind also to common sense as well, because you're just going to live in a fantasy of disillusion and dissociate into fantasy as well. You need a balanced perception. That's why there's positivity, and that's why there is negativity. It's to bring that balanced perception, and that's where the gold is, people. That's where you see the beauty of it. And I'll give you one last tip. How do you balance it? If you're feeling really negative or anxious or worried about something, depressed about something, or something's going on, how do you get out of this red lens and focusing so hard on this red lens? Basically, your emotions are telling you the more negative you're feeling, the more red lens you're looking through. The more negative you're looking at, and the less blue lens you're seeing at all. Okay, so the more red lens you've got, the more emotional, the higher the emotion you're going to feel, the more negative you're going to feel. And the emotion is a feedback system to let you know this, to let you know you're out of balance, to let you know you're focusing on too much of the negative side, and you're not seeing any of the positive or enough of the positive sides to this situation. And the same goes the other way too. If you're feeling too positive, that you've got to think of some of the negatives to pull you back. Okay, but we'll focus on this way. This is usually the problem. So what do? Basically, you shift your focus towards all the negatives, towards the positives. What's good about this? What can I learn from this? What is great? What can I be grateful for about this? And you've got to start looking for them. And it might be hard if you've been so negative about something for so long, but you've got to start letting go of all these, the ego need to be right as well. That's the other thing. And when you start seeing these positives, it starts neutralizing it and balancing it back out. And I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, because it's going to be like that. And even if you only get a bit of the charge off it, it's better than nothing, yeah? So you bring it back to that equilibrium. That's the goal. And that's how you do it. It's basically what's good about this, and you're shifting your focus. What's the grateful one is the best one. What can I be grateful for about this? What can I learn from this? All those sorts of questions. Look at the pros in the problem. What's good about it? Okay, and when you bring it back, like I said, it's going to balance out your emotional state. You're not going to feel too overexcited. You're not going to feel too depressed. You're not going to feel too anxious. And you get to see things. Your logical mind starts coming back online, and you can make more common sense, rational decisions and judgments about your situation, or even about other people as well. Because when you're in a negative state about people, you're not going to make good judgments about them. When you're in a too positive state, you're not going to make good judgments about them. It's when you're in a balanced emotional state, your logical mind's going to come back online, and you're going to be able to make those quality decisions about them. All right, so I think that's enough information for you for this video. I'm going to get back to doing my eye exercises, and I'm going to try and watch a movie in these and see if it comes out in 3D and see what happens. Because at the moment I'm seeing a bit of a red and a bit of blue, so I've got a balanced perception going on at the moment in my reality out here. So it's all good. All right, you have a great day. I hope this has been helpful. Any questions, post them below, and I'll see what I can do to help you out. Have a great day. See ya.